Okay, hello, I hope you are doing well. How am I doing? I am doing pretty well. I wanted to just come on here to share a bit of what it is that is kind of moving through and what I'm experiencing as a soul that is also happens to be human. For a long time, the struggle of being human was very, very real and very, very heavy. Lots of emotions, lots of internal chaos, and it also manifested in my physical body as well, with weight gain, with inflammation, with constipation, and even like adverse reactions to foods. And so that just made my struggle with being human even harder. And it just felt like literally everything in my world was not okay. So, yeah, I thankfully have kind of recalibrated to a new way of being, a new practice of being both human and soul. And I want to share that here. And I want to see if you happen to resonate with it, if you happen to be, resonate with it, be doing something similar or be inspired by it because it's something that it resonates with you. Um, yeah, because it's being human and soul in one and living in that way from the heart because I believe that your soul is mainly housed here, and your nervous system, your mind, and your nervous system, your spinal column, all of that stuff kind of helps bring it in to the rest of your body, aka embodiment, as they say. So the heart of being both human and soul is a interesting place to get to and an interesting place to live in as well. And as I said, I'm doing something new now, and what got me here was not an easy road, but the really cool thing is that I had this hope in my heart, and also like hope is associated with the liver as well, but like the I had this sense of hope and optimism in me that kept me going even whenever the emotions, my nervous system, the things that my body was still holding on to were so fucking loud. They were so big, and I gave myself the space, the grace, the compassion to really allow that to be. And because I had that hope of what was on the other side. Not knowing when the other side would get here, not knowing what the other side would look like exactly. I just knew that it was better than what I was dealing with right then and right there. And and so that's where it's at. There's a lot more to that because it involves not just the grace and compassion for the present moment emotions, the present moment frustrations, the present moment anger, whatever it is that's coming up. It's not just about holding space for that, but it's also about doing practical things to actually help support the processing through of that emotion, of that trigger, of that trauma, of that whatever is coming up. And so part of my story and part of what helped me get here was not it, the biggest part was the holding of space, the allowing things to come through and all of that stuff. But the other piece of it for me was literally taking supplements, literally doing cleanses as I felt led, and specifically as I felt led. So that's the other piece, is like taking practical action steps, taking supplements, doing breath work or doing meditations, even doing specific exercises, that all is in support of me moving through the pain. And so sometimes it would look like, oh, I feel led to take a walk right now, so I'm going to go take a walk. And sometimes that walk would end up with me crying. And not necessarily me crying from a place of pain. Sometimes it was, but other times it maybe was crying from a place of healing, of, wow, this is my reality that I get to live in. Look at the beauty that is around me right now. And allowing that beauty to really penetrate into my heart, into my being, showing my unconscious, showing my nervous system that life and being human does not have to only be darkness, heaviness, and a struggle. So, yeah, it step by step by step, it eventually started balancing out a little bit more. The waves eventually were not as big as they once were. And now the waves come and they go within minutes. Versus whenever I first started this journey, it would be days, sometimes weeks, of having to experience the same pain, the loudness of it, for a really fucking long time. And I'm telling you, if you do not have, if you're dealing with this right now, and you really don't know a way out or a way through, what kept me grounded was, once again, that sense of hope. And I would encourage you, that is the grounding piece. That is, if you can find even the smallest thing, like I said, the beauty of being outside, whatever the hell it is, like, there has to be, we all need some sense of hope, and hope is never far away. It's just a matter of remembering it. It's a matter of really tapping into that frequency, or just, yeah, I mean, it is tapping into that frequency. It's, and what, how do you do that? By going to a memory, going to something that your body remembers was a hopeful situation, something that you intrinsically have memory of experiencing hope. And whenever you can tap into that, you are actually tapping into the frequency of hope whenever you do that. And so if you can kind of eventually take away the memory and just remember the frequency of it, that is what will ground you. That's what grounded me in the moments when the waves were too much, when the waves were, I could not be fully present in that because of how big it was. And whenever I say fully present in that, what I mean is holding it with the compassion and the grace. And so all I had was, okay, let me just hold it for a little bit, and then let me go back to the thing that makes me, the hope that makes me feel better. This was all very unexpected to come out. I was like, I'm just gonna push play and see what comes out. And so yeah, but that is, if you are feeling the weight of the world of being fucking human right now, and you're looking for a potential reprieve, a break, this could possibly be a helpful thing for you. So whatever it is, whatever memory it is, whatever moment, whatever physical item, I know for a while, for me, it was matcha. Having a matcha drink. Actually, that was more joy rather than hope. But whatever it is that can kind of help offset, balance you out in the present moment, that is something that is absolutely helpful and necessary and needed to help holding space. Or at least that's what it was for me. The only way that I got to where I'm at now, where the waves of grief, the waves of change, the waves of the unknown are more tempered, for lack of a better way of saying it, doesn't mean I don't feel them, because I absolutely do, and it is intense still. The only way that I have gotten to where it's not as big as it once was is through a routine, a practice, a listening to that guidance. But first and foremost, it was having a regular connection with joy and hope, and regularly believing and trusting that it is always here, even whenever I can't see it fully. I have to trust it. Like, there has to be, because here's the thing, is we live as humans on planet Earth, we live in a state of polarity. We are here. So if no matter how dark it gets, we have to have the other side. And so what do you want to focus on? I'm not saying ignore the darkness. What I'm saying is, where do you want to, even whenever you're acknowledging the heaviness of being human, you have just as much ability and right to be able to experience the other side of it. Both sides. So what do you want to focus on? What do you want to, yes, experience both, but what do you want to focus on? And for me, I chose, once again, hope and joy, trusting that that would lead me out. And not as escapism. To me, it was not escapism, because I was still experiencing all of the heaviness of being fucking human. But it was to balance it out, to experience more balance in the chaos, in the waves. I needed to offset it, that polarity. Okay. I think that's it. That was fun. Okay. Until I decide to post again, have a wonderful day.